There are two ways to repair your credit. You can hire a professional credit repair company or do it all yourself. But which one is right for you? Well, let's talk about that. Hey, welcome back to Credit Repair. If you're new here, welcome. I am a credit repair expert helping you get your credit from bad to good so you can buy a house, get a great credit card, or finance a car without having to pay a dime in interest. Let's jump into today's topic. There are two ways to repair your credit report. The first way, the DIY method, is doing it all yourself by disputing directly with the credit bureaus and the creditors. And the second option is to use a professional credit repair company to do the work for you. There are pros and cons to both options, and I want to make sure that you know what they are before you decide which route to take. Now, the first thing we need to discuss is the cost. The cost of repairing your credit report can vary greatly depending upon several factors. With the DIY method, the cost is going to be very low. You'll have to purchase a copy of your credit report. It costs $1 each from each bureau, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. You may also need to purchase a premium membership to access the entire report. Or if you'd like, you could become a member of Annual Credit Report, where you get a free credit report every single day. So for the cost of repairing your credit by yourself, let's say $3 a month or $36 a year. That's it. With the professional credit repair company, the cost varies dramatically because there's no regulation in the industry. There's no set fee schedule and it's complete feast or famine. Some companies will charge you a flat fee for their services while other companies charge based on the number of items that they remove from your credit reports. With the flat fee, this can be anywhere between $400 to $2,000. And then there's companies out there that charge a percentage of the increase in your score. Now those companies are only in it for the money, and they only go into work on the easy accounts because they want quick wins. They not go into work the harder accounts that are going to take more time because remember how they get paid. They get paid a percentage of the increase in your score. So if they don't see a big gain, they're not gonna put forth the effort. The third way that they get paid is per item removed. So this could be per late payment, per collection, per charge-off, etc. And this fee can range anywhere between $40 to $300 per item removed. And some companies even offer a guarantee that if they don't remove specific items from your credit report, you get your money back. So really the sky is the limit on how much you can pay when you go the professional route. But wait, there's more. You should also expect to pay extra for additional services. These can include things like adding a positive trade line, such as an authorized user on a credit card, removing a medical bill that has been sent to collections, and placing a fraud alert or a security freeze on your file. For these additional services, you can expect to pay up to $500 per item added or removed. The next factor to consider when deciding whether to do it all yourself or hire a professional is the amount of time that you have. The Fair Credit Reporting Act gives you the right to dispute any negative item on your credit report that is inaccurate, incomplete, or unverifiable. This process requires that you send a letter to the credit bureau, and then the credit bureau sends that dispute letter to the creditor. Once the creditor receives the dispute letter, they have 30 days to validate the debt or the negative item. If they cannot validate the debt, they must delete it from your credit report. In most cases, this process takes about 1 to 2 months per item. If the creditor validates the debt, then you can choose to continue disputing or just move on to the next item. So it takes approximately 1 to 2 months per item, depending upon whether it's going to be a full deletion or not. It will take longer if you have a lot of negative items on your credit reports. To speed up the process, you can hire a professional credit repair company. These companies have staff dedicated to sending out dispute letters. They also understand the laws and know what works when disputing with the major credit bureaus and creditors. And lastly, they've got the experience. They've done this many times before and they know what's going to happen. So they can predict outcomes and prepare you accordingly. The average amount of time it takes a professional company to repair a credit report is 6 months. The last thing we need to consider is your level of patience. As I mentioned before, this process takes time. If you have several negative items on your credit reports, it can take months or even years to get them all removed. And if you have 0 negative items on your reports, but your score is still low, then it's likely due to derogatory marks that are on the older side. This means that you're going to have to wait until those accounts age off your credit report. An account will age off after 7 years from the date of delinquency. And yes, this is a long time to wait. So you need to ask yourself, do I have the patience to handle this myself, or would I rather leave it in the hands of the professionals who are trained to deal with this on a daily basis? If you're wondering how much your credit score will increase once those negative items are removed, I suggest you watch my next video. I cover the average score increase after removing late payments, collections, charge-offs, and bankruptcies. Next, let's discuss the positives of doing it all yourself. Doing it yourself will save you money and time. It will also help you learn more about your credit report and how it works. And it's extremely satisfying when you receive a letter from the credit bureau stating that the item was deleted as a result of your dispute. Plus, it's easy to do. And I've created step-by-step video instructions on how to handle the entire process. You can watch my video on how to dispute a credit report, how to create a pay-for-delete letter, and how to negotiate with creditors. And now let's talk about the negatives of doing it all yourself. And the first one is that it takes a lot of time. The second negative is that you need to be persistent, and not everyone has that personality. And the third negative is that you may not get the same results as a professional credit repair company. Now let's talk about the positives of hiring a credit repair company. First, they're experienced and know the ins and outs of the credit reporting process. Second, they're persistent and won't give up when disputing on your behalf. Third, they know what works and what doesn't work. And fourth, they can help you avoid making mistakes that could jeopardize your chances of getting your items deleted. And now let's talk about the negatives of hiring a credit repair company. First, there's no regulation in the industry and prices vary widely. Second, you're putting your trust in someone else to handle your credit. And third, you're giving up some of the satisfaction that comes along with doing it all yourself. So which option is right for you? Well, if you have the time, patience, and the persistence, then disputing on your own may be the best option. However, if you're willing to spend some money to save yourself some time and hassle, then hiring a credit repair company may be the better choice. And there's also the middle ground. You could do it all yourself, but hire a professional for just the tough stuff. Or you could hire a professional company for the entire process, but just handle the communication with the credit bureaus. Either way, you'll save time and money. I hope this video was helpful to you. Please subscribe to my channel. I put out new videos every single week, and if you'd like more information, check out my website below. I've got tons of helpful resources there too. Thanks for watching.